5G, 81.5% of populated areas covered. Malaysia ready to aid Gaza in rebuilding clean water supply. Well, salam Malaysia Madani. I'm Muhammad Amin Carlos and you're watching Malaysia Tonight. Well, the headlines in a moment, but first, a Singapore Airlines flight from London made an emergency landing in Bangkok on Tuesday due to severe turbulence, the airline said, with one passenger on board dead and injuries reported. Now, the airline said the Boeing 777-300ER aircraft carrying a total of 211 passengers and 18 crew on board was diverted to Bangkok and landed at 3:45 p.m. local time. Now, the flight originally bound for the Lion City diverted to Bangkok after encountering turbulence approximately 1.5 hours from Singapore's Changi Airport. It later declared an emergency and landed at 3:45 p.m. Bangkok time. The airline in a statement confirmed that there were injuries and one fatality on board. It was reported that 30 passengers were injured. In the same statement, Singapore Airlines offers its deepest condolences to the family of the deceased. It said the priority is to provide all possible assistance to all passengers and crew on board the aircraft. The airline is working with local authorities in Thailand to provide the necessary assistance and sending a team to Bangkok to provide any additional assistance needed. Well, the 5G network coverage has reached 81.5% of populated areas in Malaysia as of 30th April. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil said the 5G adoption rate has picked up, with 13.2 million users recorded in the same time frame.
Capaian rangkaian 5G bagi kawasan berpenduduk telah mencecah 81.5%. Manakala dari segi penerima gunaan adoption rate untuk rangkaian 5G telah mencapai 39.2%. Ini menyaksikan peningkatan 3.8% berbanding hujung bulan Mac tahun ini. Bermaksud secara keseluruhan setakat hujung April terdapat 13.2 juta akaun 5G di dalam negara kita. Ini adalah pencapaian yang baik dan cukup positif.
However, he said the 5G adoption rate in the micro, small to medium enterprises is still low. Towards addressing this, the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, or MCMC, and the Malaysian Investment Development Authority, MIDA, will sign a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, to help micro, small and medium enterprises adopt and implement the use of 5G networks for their businesses. Meanwhile, the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, is expected to announce the tender process for bidding a second 5G network in the near future. However, telecommunication companies interested in bidding will firstly need to complete the share subscription agreement, or SSA, process for their equity holdings in Digital Nasional Berhad, or DNB. Now, the Cabinet was informed that the first meeting of the DNB Board of Directors was held yesterday with representatives from the telcos. Each of the 5 telcos was represented by a board member and given 20 days to make its decision.
Akan mengumumkan proses tender yang akan membolehkan syarikat-syarikat yang ingin terlibat dalam bidaan bagi rangkaian kedua memasukkan bidaan masing-masing. Tapi prasyaratnya ialah hanya syarikat-syarikat yang telah melengkapkan SSA ini boleh memasukkan tender di atas kematian.
Barisan Nasional (BN) is prioritizing to strengthen its cooperation with Pakatan Harapan, or PH, to face the next Sabah state election. Its chairman, Dato' Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, said it hoped that the understanding between BN and PH can also bring positive results in Sabah.
Kita bersedia untuk bekerjasama dengan mana-mana saja parti politik yang sealiran pegangan politiknya bagi kita membentuk kerajaan di Sabah. atau menjadi sebahagian daripada kerajaan di Sabah. Yang pentingnya BN harus memperkukuhkan jalinan kerjasama dengan Pakatan Harapan. Itu adalah teras utama, terutamanya di dalam pembentukan kerajaan di Putrajaya dan di Sabah juga mungkin suasana politik itu akan dapat diterjemahkan.
The Deputy Prime Minister emphasised that BN being dynamic does not make UMNO irrelevant in Sabah, and the challenges have strengthened the party. And he said this after attending the 2023 Rural and Regional Development Ministry or KKDW Excellent Service Awards and Appreciation Ceremony in Putrajaya today. In a separate development, 98.5% of TVET graduates in institutions managed by the ministry have managed to obtain a job after concluding their studies. Well, this statistics is a testament to the effectiveness of TVET programs in educating highly skilled graduates.
Dan ukurannya bukan hanya berapa ramai yang masuk, tetapi berapa ramai yang graduate yang mendapat pekerjaan. Setakat ini semua TVET di bawah KKDW, terutama MARA, berada di tahap 98.5% dari segi memperoleh pekerjaan.
Dr. Sri Ahmad Zahid, who is also Minister of Rural and Regional Development, said the remaining 1.5% of graduates were not unemployed because they failed to secure a job. Well, instead, it is because they decided to pursue a higher level of education. Well, the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court today set 9 days starting 30th September for the trial of an Israeli by the name of Avitan Shalom, who was charged with 2 counts of trafficking 6 firearms and possessing 200 rounds of ammunition in a hotel room last March. Judge Norina Zain Al-Abidin set the date following an application by Deputy Public Prosecutor Muhammad Mustafa P. Kunyalam that the charges against Shalom, 38, be tried together, as provided under Section 165, subsection 1 of the Criminal Procedure Code, as they involve the same accused and similar charges. Now, also appearing for the prosecution were Deputy Public Prosecutors Shafiq Hasim and Fazida Faik. Now, lawyer Navinjit Singh, representing Shalom, did not object to the application. Muhammad Mustafa told the court that the prosecution would call 20 witnesses, while earlier Shalom pleaded not guilty to 2 amended charges. The first charge was amended to increase the number of bullets from 158 to 200, while the second charge involved amending the serial numbers of the Glock and Stoger Cougar pistols. Now, both the offences were allegedly committed in a hotel room in Jalan Ampang between 6:46 p.m. on 26 March and 6 p.m. on 28 March this year. The Customs Department has seized 154 kilograms of methamphetamine worth some 5 million ringgit and arrested 4 suspects in separate operations in Nilai. Now, Acting Customs Deputy Director General for Enforcement and Compliance, Ridwan Abdullah, said his men in a joint operation with Bukit Aman had carried out the operations on 14th May.
He said a team of the Customs Narcotics Branch and the Royal Malaysia Police PDRM Narcotics Crimes Investigation Department conducted a special operation on the southbound route of the North-South Expressway near the Sungai Buaya turnoff in Selangor and inspected a Proton X50 that stopped at the emergency lane in a suspicious manner. The team later found 4 bags filled with food packets with durian logos containing clear crystals suspected to be methamphetamine at around 4:40 p.m. The 45-year-old driver of the car was subsequently arrested.
Siasatan awal kami mendapati sedikit ini mengedar dadah yang diambil daripada utara semenanjung Malaysia dan dibawa ke Lembah Kelang untuk pasaran Lembah Kelang melalui jalan daratnya. Daripada pengamatan kami mendapati pergerakan kereta utama tadi dikawal oleh beberapa kenderaan lain selaku orang kata tontor untuk memastikan pergerakan perjalanannya selamat dan terkawal.
In follow-up operations, Ridwan said the team arrested 3 other suspects who were believed to have acted as tontors for the main suspect. Preliminary investigations revealed that the drugs had been brought in from a neighbouring country. All 4 suspects who have been remanded do not have criminal records and are from the Klang Valley. The case is being investigated under Section 39B, subsection 1, subsection A of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952, which carries the death penalty or life imprisonment with at least 12 strokes of the cane.
Coming up next, electric bus to raise standard of public transport. Well, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy, Transition and Water Transformation, Dato Sri Fadila Yusof, held bilateral discussions regarding water-related issues with the World Bank and the United Nations Economic Commission for Europe, or UNECE.
The discussion with the World Bank delegation was held at the Bali International Convention Centre, Nusa Dua, in conjunction with a top leadership meeting at the 10th World Water Forum, which ended today. Meanwhile, the discussion with the UNECE delegation also focused on the management of transboundary rivers shared with neighbouring countries such as Thailand, Brunei and Indonesia.
Memaklumkan, berkongsi maklumat dengan mereka, cabaran yang kita lalui dan dari pengalaman mereka mengendalikan persoalan berhubungkan dengan air dan juga dari segi model kewangan dalam pelbagai negara supaya mereka dapat kongsikan dengan kita. Jadi apa yang dipersetujui tadi adalah untuk kita mengadakan perbincangan lanjut di antara peringkat pegawai kita dan juga World Bank, dan dari situ nanti kita akan tentukan apakah arah tuju kerjasama di antara kita dengan World Bank.
Well, meanwhile, on the issues currently facing Palestine, Dato Sri Fadila stated that Malaysia is ready to repair or rebuild the clean water supply system in the Gaza Strip, Palestine post-conflict. Now, he said Malaysia could provide various forms of assistance, especially technical support after the current crisis.
He conveyed the matter to Palestinian Water Minister Mazen Ghunaim, who is also the head of the Palestinian Water Authority, during a bilateral meeting on the sidelines of the high-level leadership meeting at the 10th World Water Forum. Kuala Lumpur will be working together with Egypt to realize this ambition. Dato Sri Fadila, however, said this requires further discussion on the methods, timing and ways of implementation with the Palestinian side.
Tapi komitmen kita ialah memang untuk membantu dari segi humanitarian assistance. Fokus sekarang mereka memerlukan air yang banyak. Dan untuk membantu dari segi teknikal kita bersedia, cuma dengan syarat boleh dibenarkan untuk memasuki negara mereka. Dan itu perlu perbincangan lanjut, kaedahnya macam mana, bila dan bagaimana. Itu akan kita bincangkan lanjut dengan mereka.
Well, the Legal Affairs Division of the Prime Minister's Department, or BHEUU, has embarked on the path towards enacting the Mental Capacity Act for Malaysia. And according to Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, M. Kulasegaran, this new legislation will be a transformative new legal instrument in Malaysia to assist in the care and management of those who become mentally incapacitated.
Akta keupayaan mental yang dicadangkan ini antara lain bertujuan untuk membantu dan membolehkan seseorang untuk melaksanakan tindakan persediaan awal bagi dirinya daripada aspek pengurusan harta, keputusan perundangan, hal ehwal perubatan dan lain-lain keputusan pengurusan dengan mengguna pakai surat lasting power of attorney sekiranya seseorang itu menjadi tidak upaya dari segi mentally incapacitated.
In his speech while officiating the Forum on Mental Capacity Act for Malaysia 2024, Kulasegaran said the Mental Health Act 2001, which Malaysia has in force at present, only allows for the court to set up a committee to look after the affairs and estate of a person with a mental disorder after the person is already mentally incapacitated.
The Malacca government is awaiting guidelines regarding the implementation of the salary increase for civil servants from the federal government in order to adjust the initiative at the state level, said Chief Minister Dato Sri Abdul Rauf Yusof. Well, he said the increase would add to the financial expenditure of the state government and it needs to seek new sources of income to balance the expenditure.
Kenaikan gaji ini memang diumumkan oleh Kerajaan Persekutuan pada peringkat awal, tapi pelaksanaannya dibuat pada hujung tahun ini. Jadi Kerajaan sendiri sedang menunggu kaedah yang terbaik bagi diumumkan dalam pembentangan bajet untuk tahun hadapan. Ya. Jadi kita negeri yang memerlukan semua sumber kewangan bagi mengimbangi perbelanjaan dan juga pentadbiran kerajaan negeri.
And he said this to reporters after launching the state government monthly assembly today. Meanwhile, Dato Sri Abdul Rauf launched the My Malacca News platform via Telegram, which will serve as a conduit for disseminating announcements regarding promotions and publicity for all state government activities to the entire population and targeted groups within the state. Now, through this medium, civil servants could share their ideas and perspectives to further advance Malacca in various aspects, and it will serve as a two-way communication platform among all civil servants in the state. Rapid Bus Sendirian Berhad and Volvo Buses Malaysia today signed a Memorandum of Understanding or MOU formalising the implementation of a trial operation of the new electric city bus Volvo BZL GML Eco Range for Rapid KL bus service. Now, Rapid Bus Chief Executive Officer Muhammad Yazrin Salij Muhammad Yasin said trial runs will be conducted for a period of 6 to 12 months.
Memang the government is looking at how we can actually expedite the EV buses, given that we now have this new energy transformation roadmap, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of initiative on green. So we are implementing as the government is punya directive lah. So generally, insyaAllah, very soon we will call for EV bus tender, of which the numbers and all it's still in the discussion, but the plan for Rapid Bus is actually to be 100% EV, hopefully before 2037.
The use of electric buses would reduce expenditure by cutting the use of diesel fuels as well as reducing maintenance costs. This will in turn raise the industry standard and offer a solution to achieving zero carbon public transportation. Still ahead, Thai drug smuggling ramping up along northern border. Well, Deputy Prime Minister Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi will undertake an official visit to China from 22nd May to 1st June at the invitation of Vice Premier Ding Xuxiang. Well, in a statement today, Wisma Putra announced that this marks Dato Sri Ahmad Zahid's first official visit to China since he assumed the role of Deputy Prime Minister in December 2022. Well, during his visit, the Deputy Prime Minister is scheduled to pay a courtesy call on Premier Li Qiang. In order to further intensify bilateral relations, he is expected to explore opportunities of cooperation, particularly in the field of education, with focus on technical and vocational education and training, which is known as TVET, halal industry development, as well as people-to-people exchanges. While both sides will also exchange views on regional and international issues of mutual concern and interest. Additionally, Dato Sri Ahmad Zahid will also witness the signing of a number of memoranda of understanding or MOUs between Malaysian and Chinese companies in the fields of high technology and education. This official visit is part of the exchange of high-level visits lined up for the year to commemorate the 50th year of Beijing-Kuala Lumpur diplomatic ties. Authorities in northern Thailand are bracing for a surge in drug smuggling, with estimates suggesting over 70 million methamphetamine pills could be flooding across the border. Now, this comes as law enforcement agencies have already intercepted nearly 130 million pills in the past 6 months. Like on Monday morning alone, a clash between a special forces unit and a drug trafficking group in Chiang Mai's Yang Hang district resulted in the seizure of 1.2 million methamphetamine pills. The suspects managed to escape, leaving behind 6 backpacks filled with the drugs. Well, over the past 6 months, officials have engaged in 30 anti-drug operations, resulting in the seizure of nearly 130 million methamphetamine pills, 2 tons of crystal meth, also known as ice, and 249 kilograms of heroin. The commander, General Narit Tavong Wong, attributes the increased drug trafficking to the intensifying conflict in Myanmar, adding that the weakened control by Myanmar authorities, particularly in the Shan state, which is a major drug production hub, has led to a surge in drug production. Intelligence reports indicate that at least 70 million methamphetamine pills are poised to enter Thailand. Coming up in sports, tough for Malaysia in AFF Cup. The Harimau Malaya squad will face an uphill battle to make it to the semi-final stage of the 2024 ASEAN Football Federation or AFF Mitsubishi Electric Cup after being placed together with defending champions Thailand during the draw ceremony held at Hanoi, Vietnam today. Malaysia and Thailand are in Group A, along with 4-time champions Singapore, Cambodia, and the winner of the qualifying round between Brunei and Timor-Leste, while 2022 AFF Cup runners-up Vietnam, Indonesia, the Philippines, Myanmar, and Laos are in Group B.
Draw. We face Thailand, last champion of Mitsubishi Cup, and another challenge is Singapore, our neighbor, and also we face Cambodia. I think, and also another one more team from qualification. So we try to get our best our manpower to build best team to fight this Mitsubishi Cup.
In a video shared by the Football Association of Malaysia, FM, today, Pan Gon added he would ensure that the squad would have a strong lineup for the Cup. Defending champions Thailand, currently ranked 101st in the world, have been consistent in their performance lately, making it tough for the Harimau Malaya squad to top Group A. This is so with the likely absence of key players from Johor Darul Taksim or JDT and Selangor FC, whose clubs will be playing in the Elite Asian Football Confederation or AFC Champions League, scheduled from 25th November to 5th December. The 2024 AFF Cup will be held at nearly the same time from 23rd November to 21st December. Well, national squash ace S. Sivasangari has broken into the top 10 of the Professional Squash Association or PSA World Tour ranking list. Now, in the latest women's ranking list issued yesterday, the 25-year-old athlete accumulated 7,595 points to rise 1 rung to 10th spot, behind Egypt's Rowan El Arabi, who also jumped 1 spot to 9th. Now, Sivasangari's promotion followed her recent achievements, including a third-round appearance in the PSA World Championship 2023-24 on 15 May and winning the inaugural London Squash Classic title in April. She beat 3 top players en route to clinching the London title, and in a post on X, Sivasangari attributed her achievements to the strong support she received from the team. Now, more determined than ever to keep pushing, she said, amidst enjoying every step of the process. Egypt continued to occupy the top 3 spots in the world rankings, and 2 other national players, Rachel Arnold and Ira Osman, also rose 1 rung each to 23rd and 36th. Respectively. However, Aifa Osman and Aina Amani dropped 1 spot to 40th and 65th, respectively. Well, Liverpool have appointed Feyenoord's Arne Slot as manager to replace departing coach Jurgen Klopp next season. The Premier League club announced on Monday. Now, Slot has been in charge of the Dutch team since 2021 and won the Eredivisie League title in 2022 to 23, along with the KNVB Cup this season, while Feyenoord also reached the Europa Conference League final in his first season at the club. Now, Slot, in a statement on Feyenoord's website, said an opportunity to become a head coach in the Premier League at one of the biggest clubs in the world is hard to ignore as a sportsman. Klopp announced in January that he would leave Liverpool at the end of the season, and after much speculation, Slot confirmed on Friday that he would become Liverpool manager. The Anfield club, in a statement on Monday, said Liverpool Football Club can announce that Arne Slot has agreed a deal to become the club's new head coach, formally taking up the position on 1st June 2024, subject to a work permit. Now, Slot was linked with the Tottenham Hotspur job at the end of last season before signing a contract extension at Feyenoord, and his aggressive attacking style attracted Liverpool to entice the Dutchman to the Premier League. Liverpool ended the season third in the Premier League, 9 points off champions Manchester City, while Feyenoord finished runners-up to PSV Eindhoven in the Eredivisie. In tennis, 14 times French Open champion Rafael Nadal will be the star attraction in Paris as he looks to sign off from his favorite Grand Slam in memorable fashion, although his participation at Roland Garros remains in doubt. Now, the 37-year-old Spaniard, who is expected to retire after the season, spent most of last year nursing a hip issue that required surgery before a muscle tear in Brisbane stalled his comeback in January.
Even in a training session for a tournament he might yet miss, Rafael Nadal still drew a crowd at Roland Garros on Monday. He was given a hero's welcome and greeted by chants of Rafa as he made his way into Parisian Central Court as he prepares to compete in the French Open. The 37-year-old returns to his favorite Grand Slam after having to sit out Roland Garros last season due to injury. The Spaniard spent most of last year nursing a hip issue that required surgery before a muscle tear in Brisbane stalled his comeback in January. He most recently played at the Italian Open, where he was knocked out of the second round by Poland's Hubert Hurkacz earlier this month. On the women's side, world number 9 Ons Jabeur also took a spin on court Philippe Chartier as she chases her first Grand Slam title in Paris. The French Open begins on 26 May.
Well, that's it from us this evening. In our top story, 5G, 81.5% of populated areas covered. Now, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thanks for watching.